Picture this. James, a first-time flyer at 35,000 feet, used the washroom. One flush from the powerful toilet vacuum nearly yanked his watch off. Stunned, he later asked a flight attendant, "Did I just launch that washroom waste into the sky?" She laughed. "No, it goes into sealed tanks. We empty them after landing." Then she smirked. "Unless there's a leak. Have you ever heard of blue ice? A chunk crashed through a roof once." James's expression twisted in shock, his eyes going wide as if he'd seen a ghost. She winked. "Just kidding. It would break up and melt long before hitting the ground." Welcome back to our channel, fellow travelers. This is Holly. Today we're diving into something fascinating: flight secrets. Have you ever wondered what's really going on behind the scenes on a plane? What secrets do airlines and flight crews keep from us? There's a world of hidden secrets, and we're getting a peek inside. We will be revealing surprising flight secrets that will raise your eyebrows. And if you haven't done so already, please click like and subscribe. Also, check out our channel for more great travel tips and walking tours around the world, including cities like Prague, Istanbul, and even Niagara Falls. Seatbelts fastened? Let's go! Alright, let's kick things off with a harsh reality. Overbooked flights. Airlines sell more tickets than seats, betting on no-shows. If everyone shows up, they call for volunteers and offer vouchers. Know your rights. You could get cash compensation up to $1,550 or upgrades to business class. Don't accept their first offer. Try to negotiate a better one. Now let's talk about our beloved checked baggage. We hand over our suitcases at the check-in desk and trust they'll be on the same flight as us. Well, that's not always the case. Airlines sometimes delay or reroute luggage to keep flights on schedule. If loading all the bags causes a delay, some might be left behind. Cargo space can be limited, especially on smaller aircraft or full flights. If there isn't enough room, some bags will be bumped to the next flight. And of course, human error can send bags to the wrong destination. This is why you should keep valuables, medications, and a change of clothes in your carry-on or personal item bag. There's no absolute guarantee your checked bags will arrive with you. So pack smart and keep the essentials with you. It's a little secret that underscores the importance of that trusty carry-on and a personal item bag. Have you ever heard a mysterious ding sound from the aircraft's PA system? Those dings are far from random. They are a form of secret audio code used by the flight crew. One common ding signifies the aircraft has reached 10,000 feet. This is the point at which it's safe for passengers to use approved electronic devices. A sequence of chimes might signal impending turbulence. This gives the crew a heads up to secure the cabin. More serious codes, like 3 distinct dings, could indicate a significant issue. These sounds allow the crew to communicate critical information quickly. So next time you're flying, listen out for those dings. They're telling a story you might now understand a little better. It's a clever system that keeps the crew informed without alarming passengers. A little secret language in the skies. Let's explore how flight attendants manage difficult passengers. They use coded terms and phrases to avoid causing a scene. For example, a flight attendant might say Delta 13 VIP. Delta 13 is a phonetic code that indicates a passenger seated in 13D. While VIP typically means very important person within the airline industry. In this situation, it stands for very irritating passenger, used to describe someone making unreasonable demands or complaints. The code word for a passenger requiring physical restraint by other flight attendants who have physical restraint training is Passenger 13 Delta requires special assistance. In extreme cases, the pilot is discreetly informed and law enforcement may meet the aircraft upon landing. All of this is done discreetly to maintain calm with the rest of the passengers. Here's one you've probably experienced. The cabin lights dimming for takeoff and landing. While it might have a calming side effect, the real reason is all about safety. In an emergency, passengers might need to evacuate quickly. Dimming the lights helps your eyes adjust to lower light levels. This prevents temporary blindness from a sudden change from bright light to darkness. It's crucial for seeing emergency exits or obstacles. Opening the window shades during takeoff and landing also serves a safety purpose. It allows passengers to see outside and be aware of potential hazards. It also helps emergency rescue teams see inside the plane more easily. These small requests are vital parts of the aircraft's safety strategy. They ensure passengers are prepared for any situation. It's a simple but effective safety measure. Picture this. Those little yellow oxygen masks drop down. They typically provide about 12 to 15 minutes of oxygen. This time frame is designed to be enough for the pilots to descend to a lower altitude. At 10,000 feet, the air is dense enough to breathe normally. The masks are a temporary bridge while the plane descends. Pilots are trained for these situations, and a rapid descent is standard procedure. The real danger is not putting on the mask quickly enough. At high altitudes, you could lose consciousness in as little as 20 seconds. This is why securing your own mask first is crucial. That 12 to 15 minutes is your window to stay conscious. So, if those masks ever drop, don't delay. Get yours on immediately. It's a life-saving secret. Here's a thought. Your plane being hit by lightning mid-flight. It sounds dramatic, but lightning strikes on commercial airplanes are common. Most commercial jets are struck by lightning about once every year. Aircraft are designed to handle these encounters. Modern planes are built with conductive materials like aluminium. When lightning strikes, the electrical charge travels through the plane's skin. It exits from another point, usually without harming the aircraft or passengers. The energy is channeled around the exterior, not through the cabin. Passengers might not even realize the plane has been struck. There might be a bright flash and a loud bang, but it's generally a non-event. Pilots perform checks afterwards, but it's considered normal. Your metal tube in the sky is designed to take the hit. The most statistically vulnerable parts of any flight are takeoff and landing. These are known as the critical phases of flight. This is why the cabin crew insist on seat belts, tray tables stowed, and electronic devices off. Historical data shows most aviation accidents occur during these phases. These minutes demand the highest level of alertness from everyone. Likewise, you are statistically safer taking a direct flight rather than one with multiple layovers. While flying is overwhelmingly safe, each additional takeoff and landing cycle to your destination adds more statistical risk. Here are some tips to follow during the initial and final minutes to minimize your risk. Pay attention to the safety briefing and know your exits. I can't stress this enough. This will help you the most during the most critical moments. Are some seats on an airplane actually safer than others in a crash? Studies suggest seats in the back have higher survival rates. The tail section often remains more intact. Middle seats in the rear fare best, but every crash is unique. We've all heard the instruction, switch to airplane mode for takeoff and landing. But why is this so important? Modern aircraft are shielded from interference. The real reason is to prevent interference with ground networks. Phones constantly try to connect to cell towers. This can overload ground networks. Airplane mode prevents unnecessary signal interference. It keeps things running smoothly for everyone. Do pilots sleep on the job? On long-haul flights, pilots are allowed to take naps. It's called controlled rest or napping on the flight deck. This practice is approved by aviation authorities because a rested pilot is a safer pilot. Fatigue is a significant risk factor in aviation. Pilots take short, strategic naps to maintain alertness during critical phases of flight. There are strict protocols. One pilot rests while the other remains alert. Larger aircraft have dedicated crew rest compartments. These are equipped with beds or bunks for proper rest. There have been rare instances where both pilots have nodded off. Modern autopilot systems are incredibly important in these situations. Controlled rest combats fatigue, making your flight safer. If the captain's catching some shut-eye, it's all part of a carefully managed plan. The cockpit of a modern airliner is a highly secured fortress. One significant security feature is the reinforced cockpit door. These doors are incredibly strong and can be locked from the inside. Since September 11, 2001, cockpit security has been massively upgraded. Cockpit doors are now heavily reinforced and bulletproof. Pilots can completely secure the door, and there's a system of access codes for cabin crew. If the pilots suspect a security threat, they can keep the door locked indefinitely. The door is designed to withstand significant force. However, this security measure has had unintended consequences, such as sudden medical emergencies like a heart attack or potential malicious acts. For instance, the Germanwings Flight 9525 crash in 2015, where a pilot locked the co-pilot out of the cockpit and deliberately crashed the plane. Many airlines now enforce a 2 or 4 eyes in the cockpit policy, which requires that at least 2 crew members be present in the cockpit at all times during flight. For example, if one pilot needs to leave the cockpit for a bathroom break, another crew member, such as a flight attendant, must enter and stay in the cockpit until the pilot returns. This prevents a single individual from being alone while in control of the aircraft. The airplane washroom, a tiny cubicle for privacy. But here's a secret. It can be opened from the outside. There's a hidden external latch mechanism that's concealed behind the restroom or no smoking sign. A flight attendant can easily unlock it from the outside. This is for safety and emergencies. Sometimes quick access is needed for safety concerns, or if someone's been in there too long. So reconsider joining the infamous Mile High Club. The crew knows what's going on and has a way in. That feeling of seclusion is an illusion. It may not be the privacy you were expecting. What happens when behavior on board crosses the line to illegal? If you break the law on an aircraft, you can be placed under arrest. Flight crews undergo extensive training for emergency and security situations. They are empowered to maintain order and security on board. In serious situations, some crew members are trained to restrain passengers. Crews have access to restraint kits, including plastic handcuffs or zip ties. The decision to restrain a passenger is a last resort. The captain has the ultimate authority and can authorize such measures. Once restrained, the flight crew coordinates with authorities on the ground. Upon landing, law enforcement will take the individual into custody. The rules of conduct and the law apply in the air. Misbehave seriously and you could face handcuffs before you touch down. Well, there you have it, folks. A whirlwind tour through some of the most intriguing flight secrets. Armed with this knowledge, your next trip might feel a bit different. Listen for those dings, eye the cockpit door, and choose your seat wisely. There's a lot happening behind the scenes to ensure smooth and secure travel. Airlines operate in a complex world, often rooted in safety and efficiency. It gives you a new appreciation for air travel. If you found these secrets fascinating, hit like and subscribe. I'd love to hear which secret surprised you the most in the comments below. Was it the napping pilots, the unlockable loos, or the truth about overbooking? Let us know. Safe travels and see you in the next video.